the Gold Coast. Beautiful one day, perfect the next. And when the Dutton Rally rolls into town, it's beautiful one day, adrenaline rush the next.
Well, welcome to the Dutton Rally. Yes, folks, the Alphera Dutton Rally is back. And it's not sunny Goulburn, it's not beautiful Shepparton in Victoria, but it is the majestic Gold Coast. We came up here for the very first time, and this is going to be a beauty based at the Marriott on the Gold Coast. That's Rally headquarters. The sun, the surf, the sand, the great locations, everything that you'd expect from Queensland, and it's going to be a beauty. Stick around for the first Alphera Dutton Rally National Series. That's right, all three events count for this one, and it should be a cracker. We've got the beach, we've got the babes, and we've got plenty of brute horsepower.
As always, the Dutton Rally, which prides itself on safety, has the usual start to the event with some wise words from Alphera Dutton Rally head honcho, Sam Beck.
Don't drive out of your ability is all I ask. Keep yourselves in control. I know some of you will get out there this morning and you put your right foot down a little bit too hard and you'll get a little bit of a scare. We don't want to have any scares, we just want to keep you guys safe.
Safety is paramount, but we also have to have fun. I reminded my fellow competitors that while some people, like Sam Beck, say that we're not playing for sheep stations, well, that's rubbish. I was here to prove them all wrong.
Here's one here.
Now, we all know what we're driving for, so it's time to get down to business. And day one of the event would see us tackle a number of tests at Queensland International Raceway, as well as the quarter-mile sprint down the famous Willowbank Raceway. First up was the circuit sprint, a chance to see what people could do, a chance to feel like a real racing car driver, and a chance to see what machinery had shown up for the inaugural event. There was a posse of Porsches, a mob of Mitsubishis, and a ton of Toyotas. Well, to be precise, about a ton and a half. Peering over the pit lane wall, I saw the most amazing thing. A large, cumbersome, white Toyota Land Cruiser flying down the straight at Queensland Raceway. This thing hammered. I thought I'd catch up with the boys and find out why a Toyota Land Cruiser. Normally at home on the Gold Coast hinterland, heading out to Mount Warning and doing some camping on a long weekend. The Toyota Land Cruiser, you can't kill them with a stick. Would you put one on a racetrack and turn it in at high speed into turn one at Queensland Raceway? No, most of you wouldn't. This man has. He's crazy. David, what have you done to this car? It goes like, oh, well, the proverbial.
It does, it does. Look, we've done a bit to it, not too much.
Not too much, hello.
But a fair bit. I mean, it started off with a fairly big engine, but I mean, it is the most reliable vehicle. It is incredible. It's done over 200,000 kilometres, and as you know, it's been driven fairly hard. The suspension's been worked over, the brakes have been done, you know, you've got to have all that sort of stuff for safety, and then the motor's got a fair bit of stonk. It's got 300 kilowatts at the wheels on a dyno.
Now, why a Land Cruiser? Because I know people are saying, why would you do that to a recreational four-wheel drive vehicle?
And the answer is, why the hell not?
Why not indeed? You see, that's the great thing about the Dutton Rally. That's all you need. It's a road-registered car. Do that, a fire extinguisher, and you're well on your way. Well, there were plenty of wonderful machines on show with a combined value of around the $5 to $10 million mark. One of those that made a fair dent in the price tag was the 360 Modena Ferrari. Now, for a lot of people, it was their first time out at Queensland Raceway. Let's take a look around the raceway and see what you tackle. Most of the day was event-free, with all people just having a ball on the circuit, thinking they were Mark Webber or Peter Brock. Hey, speaking of red Commodores, here's a lovely-looking GTO Monaro. It's 8 months old and was hammering around the track. And at this stage, the standard dimension for a GTO. Enter the co-driver, who's always believed that the Holden boffins in the engineering department got it all wrong. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Simply add speed, concrete, and a very, very low talent meter, and voila, a much shorter $80,000 motor car.
I've just come out of the corner there and thought I was well and truly on the straight. Dropped the deck back a gear and just went sideways, just clipped the grass there a tiny bit. I was right on the edge and yeah, couldn't get it back from there. So
you've exited turn 2 at Queensland Raceway and you've just run a little wide and it's just snapped on you.
Wide and thought I was well and truly straight and gripped and wasn't. So clipped the grass a little bit and went sideways and couldn't get it back. So
one man who loved Queensland Raceway was Darren Park. Dazza, a long-time Dutton Rally competitor, set the fastest time out of the whole field. Not just for his class, the whole field, which was just a wonderful effort.
Getting the first place, that's my first place in every single rally that I've been in. It's actually the first time I've got a first place, a top 10 outright. So boys have given me a good engine from down at Sam, so this year we've been able to get up there with the Porsche boys.
Surprised a few people, mate, because normally it is a Porsche, number that, sort of rocks up on the circuit, another Porsche has done it again, but, Darren Park, Holden Commodore, brilliant.
Yeah, well, the Porsche mechanics down in Sydney, they give us a hand at the track and that, and every time I pull in there, they're going, who ordered the taxi? And this year, it's they won't be able to say that because it's actually gone past their car, so I'm quite happy with that.
Willowbank Raceway's quarter mile is usually home to top door slammers or funny cars, but this weekend it formed part of the Dutton Rally. Japanese manufacturers had a battle of their own, with the highly fancied Evo 8 of international race car driver Greg Muller up against the Toyota Celica. No, MR2, no, Land Cruiser? Go boys, go. Hey Greggy, if you lose this one, you'll never live it down. Then it was the General's turn, 4-door up against 2-door. Then there was Subi against Subi with the right lane getting the jump. And then German against German, the Porsche up against the Porsche. You choose hard top or soft top. Now while those head-to-head battles were taking place, a battle all weekend had been waged between Dean Evans and Samantha Stevens. These two were going head-to-head in a media battle. Yes, Motor Magazine up against the Sunday Telegraph.
I'm very fortunate. I've got a very good job. I work with the Sunday Telegraph Cars Guide, and we thought it's a first time sort of open event. You can take a bog standard car and go in it and have fun, and what better person to do it than me, because it's my first official event. And I've driven a Renault Sport Clio before. I drove them on the launch and needed an excuse to get back into it because it's such a great car, and grabbed that and took it up here.
We're in a Honda Integra Type S. Honda's been kind enough to give us a Integra for 6 months that we're testing in the magazine, so as part of the program we'll just probably put it to its test in events like this.
I mean, he's got 15 years experience, and he's raced, semi-professionally before and all the rest of it, so I've really got no excuse. But I've got a same powered car, maybe just a touch lighter and maybe a bit of brashness every now and then, like on the drag strip the other day. I managed to nose just in front by 0.04 of a second, but it's still a win to the girls. So
0.04, like you didn't pay much attention to the time.
Well, he keeps pointing it out whenever I said, oh, I beat him, by the way. So yeah, no, we won't make too much of it though. We're both out here to have fun. We took some nice standard cars, 30 and 40 grand cars, and took it out to see what they can do, and they're holding their own. They're doing well.
The beauty of the Dutton is that you can actually do it in a bog standard road car with the Mount Buller thing. It was a fantastic event designed for sort of semi-road race cars. But the Dutton's just fantastic because you can actually grab your standard bog stock road car, throw a couple of extinguishers in and you're ready to race. Put some long sleeves and pants on and a helmet and you're set to go. And that's exactly why we're here with the Integra. And it's absolutely bog standard.
The last event for day one was the Parklands Auto Test. Now, when you arrive at a brand new test, you have an event manual to tell you which way to go, but there's nothing better than watching a few others go around to work out which way is up, so to speak. Well, Richard and Daniel Whitehead were back for another crack at the title, but not in their mum's 350Z. This time, they were in their dad's car, a Datsun 240Z. Now, you can tell they don't own the car. Mr. Whitehead, I hope you're watching. Look at how the boys treat your car when you're not here. Often, you try and watch your co-driver for some tips. Stephen Bradbury was given no help at all with his co-driver, who completely went the wrong way. The boys in car 69 were also burning rubber.
I'm lost already. I haven't even started.
And Andre Morris in the Exige had no idea which way to go, but still put on a show for the crowd. Now, did someone say smoke? You know the old saying, where there's smoke, there's Darren Park. He wasn't the fastest, but the Holden fans just loved this. But the boys in the Land Cruiser were not to be outdone. They were on the absolute limit the whole time, and at one stage had the car on 2 wheels. So at the end of day 1, Shane Topping leads on 63 points in the WRX STI, 7 points clear of Martin the Taurus in the Evo 8, with Tony Esplin rounding out third place.